Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry the Movies with your host, Jerry Saravia. So about 3 days ago now, there was footage that had surfaced on YouTube that was uploaded from a Flemish website in regards to Jerry Lewis's most famous or infamous film of his career that nobody ever saw, with the exception, I guess, of a few people, and that would be The Day the Clown Cried. Now, the footage that surfaced on YouTube has actually been discussed even on Inside Edition, so obviously this is a big deal. And the footage is mostly behind the scenes footage. There's also footage of Jerry Lewis as made up as the clown, Helmut Dirk, German circus clown, and he does this thing with a cigarette and trying to light it, and it goes out, the flame, and then tries again, and it goes out. It's like a candle. And then he juggles a few balls, and then you see shots of other clowns. And then there is Jerry Lewis discussing um, the temp music that he's using in the film, because this was an interview, a European television special back in 1972, and he's being asked about temp music, and he says he uses temp music that to get the actors, motivated for their scenes. So that's basically what it is. Now, for those of you that know, I did a video on The Day the Clown Cried, I guess well over a year ago now. And this film fascinates me because what it is, as a refresher course for those of you who don't know about this controversial unreleased film, Jerry Lewis plays the title role of a German circus clown named Helmut Dirk, who entertains Jewish children, and he's not a very good clown, but these children laugh at his antics. And he somehow ends up in Auschwitz with these children, continues to make them laugh. The Nazis don't like what he's doing, they beat him up, and so on and so forth, and this goes on and on, apparently. And the children are being readied for the gas chamber. And anyway, that's what the film is. And according to a Cine Family Q&A event at the Los Angeles Silent Movie Theater, this, which was a clip that was also uploaded on YouTube, and this was an event from January of 2013. Lewis was asked by an actor if the film would ever surface in any fashion, The Day the Clown Cried, and he replied, "In terms of that film, I was embarrassed. I was ashamed of the work, and I was grateful that I had the power to contain it all and never let anyone see it. It was bad, bad, bad." Now, the behind-the-scenes special is about 7 minutes long, and it's worth checking out. Easy to find. It's just called the Jerry Lewis Holocaust Clown Film Released Behind-the-Scenes Footage type thing. This has some behind-the-scenes footage actually had been shown on a A&E biography special from a few years back. So this is really nothing new, and this is not actual clips from the film. And the film supposedly is in a bank vault somewhere because it was held up for financial and legal entanglements. And he apparently, Jerry Lewis, has a video assist copy made of the film that he keeps somewhere, or he may have burned it, or who knows what. So it is very unlikely that anything will really ever surface of this film, but you never know. I mean, now that we've seen behind-the-scenes footage, again, this is not actual clips from the film itself. Will this film ever be seen? Harry Shearer, who most of you may know, does voice in The Simpsons, and was in This Is Spinal Tap, and has appeared in many Christopher Guest films, had said that the film was a disaster. And he had actually seen it screened. I don't know who screened it for him. From what I understand, some of the actors involved with the production had seen the film, so who knows? I don't know. It's one of those films that you're just kind of curious about. I first heard about this film back in the 80s when I read a book called The Golden Turkey Awards, which was written by the Medved brothers, one of them being, of course, Michael Medved, film critic. And the story was fascinating to me then, so I'm curious to see this film someday. But it probably will never really happen. The tone might be totally off, and it may come off as just I mean, it's difficult subject matter, kind of having Jerry Lewis do his routine in the midst of a Holocaust scenario. Um, but then again, it's not like nobody's tried that since. Um, Not necessarily playing a circus clown, but if you look at Roberto Benigni's Life is Beautiful, for example, or Jacob the Liar, which there had been an original film made in Europe, I believe, back in the 70s, and then was remade later on with Robin Williams. So this kind of thing, is really nothing new, but he may have been one of the first to really deal with this in a comedic fashion, perhaps. Um, Although it's not really a straight comedy, from what I understand, and the script is online. Never actually read it, so but I want to see this film, but I don't think it'll ever be seen until maybe Jerry Lewis is 6 feet under, because I'm sure he's doing everything he can to make sure it isn't seen. It's not clear if the copies of the film were burned or not burned, or what the case may be. Who knows? But that's the latest on The Day the Clown Cried, a film he had tried eagerly to complete for many years and then decided the hell with it. So who knows? He might be ashamed of it after all. Who knows what's going on? Of course, if more news surfaces, we'll discuss it on this show. And this is Jerry at the Movies with your host, Jerry Sadovia, signing off.